Relief for some city workers who have been missing pay due to issues with the city's new HR system. Jeff Abel joins us live with what we've learned about all of this. Jeff?
It has been a big surprise for some city workers who opened their paychecks this month and found $100 pay for 2 weeks of work. Another employee paid $2 for 2 weeks of work. Tonight, few people can explain exactly what's gone wrong.
A lot of us are unable to pay our bills. We still come to work.
For hundreds of city workers lately, a hard day's work has hardly equaled a full day's pay.
Some of my coworkers have received checks as low as $100, checks as low as $2. So it's a lot of us who are really in dire straits.
The problems began last month when the city transferred to a new payroll system.
We will be faster and more efficient.
And suddenly employees were finding their checks were short and their benefits were inaccurate.
I had one guy this week who was missing 52 hours of overtime. That was, I will get it next pay. It's completely unacceptable.
With the payroll problems now entering their third pay period, leaders of the 9 unions that represent city workers fired off a letter to city leaders today, saying it's incumbent on the administration to cure each of the defects without delay. Rich Langford is president of the City Firefighters Union.
We're in the middle of a pandemic. People need their money. They're counting on every dollar they earn to be paid at one time so they can pay their bill. We don't know if people's loved ones are out of work, where everybody's personal situation, but people need the money they earn.
In a statement, the mayor's office calls the problems unacceptable, saying the mayor has given the Department of Finance and Department of Human Resources clear direction to work diligently until employees are made whole. The city has already begun issuing supplemental paychecks to workers whose checks have been incomplete. But according to a 20-year city employee,
those are also coming in incorrect.
Would you like to go back to the old system?
If that's what it takes to get people's pay rate, absolutely.
Well, tonight the mayor's office is promising to pay all fees, including overdraft fees, which may have occurred during these payroll problems.
Team coverage of a city in crisis. Let's begin with Dan Lamperillo and the latest on the city's paycheck issues. Dan?
Well, this new HR and payroll system has been live in Baltimore City for more than a month now, but it seems like every day we're being flooded with calls and questions about all of these payroll persistent issues related to pay. And tonight, there are some city leaders who are calling for an investigation.
Workday is cutting-edge technology.
It was a new system sold as a streamlined payroll program.
We will be faster and more efficient.
But so far, Workday has yet to see such success.
They should be held accountable for what they do.
Larry Williams is one of hundreds of city workers whose pay and benefits have been botched during the rollout.
Say it's not them. It's the computers. Somebody got to be submitting the data to the computers, and they should be held accountable.
And while there's been calls for action by city leaders,
if they cannot fix this, there will be things that have to happen as a result.
I am incredibly excited about Workday.
There's still no timeline for when things will fully be fixed.
It really is unacceptable to have a new system that doesn't work.
That's led City Councilwoman Odette Ramos to call for a hearing and investigation into Workday's rollout.
You know, it needs to be done. Our workers need to be paid. But we also want to make sure that the system is fixed.
Workday has clients big and small across the country, but we found Baltimore isn't the only one that's seen rollout issues. In 2019, county employees in Oregon reportedly weren't paid correctly for months. Fox 45 News reached out to Workday tonight for comment, but we've yet to hear back.
We have to make it right away.
And while there's urgency to get to the bottom of what went wrong,
we just come to do our job.
Tonight, city employees are still waiting to be made whole.
And that's not fair.
Now, according to the city, they have sent out a number of supplemental paychecks to some of these employees who have not been receiving proper pay. But this is an issue that we're going to be continuing to investigate in the days ahead. And if you're a city employee that has had issues with your pay or your benefits since the rollout of this Workday system, we want to hear your story. We have ways that you can reach out to us on our website, foxbaltimore.com.
Well, as of mid-January, Maryland's Department of Labor says it's paid out more than $9 billion in unemployment benefits since the start of COVID-19 pandemic. Our investigation into the state's unemployment system continues. Fox 45 follows the money to see how benefits for thousands of claimants are being funded. Amy Simpson is live tonight with what she's learned. Amy?
Kai, today we're learning more about what's called the Maryland Unemployment Trust Fund. This is a fund that pays for workers to have those unemployment benefits when they're out of work. Businesses in Maryland pay taxes that then go into that trust fund. But over the last year, with government mandated closures and the economic impact of the pandemic, some businesses did face the possibility of unemployment insurance taxes going up just because of how many workers were laid off due to COVID-19. In December, Governor Hogan signed an executive order to keep businesses from seeing these tax hikes during the 2020 fiscal year.
During this crisis, our small businesses have had to make very difficult decisions to move ahead with layoffs and furloughs, despite their best efforts.
But tonight, with nearly 11 months worth of heightened unemployment claims in Maryland, we've asked the state where the money is coming from to make up the difference and pay for more than $9 billion worth of benefits. The governor's office today tells me in addition to those employer contributions, Maryland is using CARES Act funding to pay for unemployment benefits. And that trust fund, unemployment trust fund here in Maryland tonight, I'm told it has just shy of $2.25 million in it tonight.
You guys did a wonderful job in helping me the last time, and I felt like, why not try my hand again?
Our investigation into problems with Maryland's unemployment system continues. Our Ask Amy unemployment inbox has received more than 500 messages in the past week from people across the state. Amy Simpson is live tonight as a Baltimore woman says this broken unemployment system has now struck her twice. Amy, it's quite a story.
Kai, she came to us in December and we helped her resolve her claim then, but she reached back out to me this week, this time with a new problem about a system she already battled once. She thought the nightmare was behind her.
I thought it was cleared up.
After finally receiving a lump sum of back pay before Christmas, Valen Porter says her unemployment eligibility ran out.
I went through the process of applying for an extension, and that's when all the problems started again.
People are really struggling out here.
We first met this woman and her mother in December as they both struggled to navigate Maryland's unemployment system.
My mom is evicted and I'm evicted. I don't have anyone to fall on.
After our interviews, both women saw their claims resolved and benefits come through.
How is that possible?
Now, new problems.
It's back to square one again.
Porter says she finally got through to speak with the Department of Labor. And the reason they gave her for the holdup,
they had me for working in Ohio for the last 2 years.
She says she was shocked because before COVID-19 hit last year, she'd been at her job in Maryland for 16 years.
I've never even been to Ohio before.
Today, we reached out to the state on Porter's behalf, asking about the problem. A spokesperson for Governor Larry Hogan says the state of Ohio reported $17,000 in wages for this claimant in both 2019 and 2020.
The company that they told me that I was working at, I don't even know what type of company it is.
But if that income doesn't belong to her, the spokesperson says it's quite possible a fraudulent claim was filed in another state using her Social Security number.
I can't understand why either, Ohio, unless someone else is using my identities.
Now, a spokesperson for Governor Larry Hogan's office tells me an investigation has been opened. And I got a text from Ms. Porter just a few minutes ago. She says a claims agent has already reached out about the dispute.